Okay guys, now we start with our new chapter in our AM025, our chapter 5, Mathematics of Finance. Alright, this is a very fun topic because you can apply this to your future. For this chapter, we have 5 lectures. Okay, what is important for this chapter is actually for you to understand for each term. Alright, because in the question, you will need to solve the problems. So in order to able to solve the problem, you need to understand them first. Okay, let's continue. Let's start with our first subtopic for this chapter, 5.1 Simple Interest. Okay, you need to take full attention or alert of the word simple in the question. Let's move to our learning objective for this chapter. At the end, you should able to find simple interest. Right? Simple interest is by capital I there. Okay, or I put it here, I or BI, and the total amount. Total amount is our S. Okay. Number 2, you have to know how to find exact and ordinary interest. Okay, here you will have 2 different things. Exact, that means you will use 365 days. For ordinary, or we call it as approximate time, we will use 360 days per year. Okay, and then our last learning objective is you should able to solve problems finding time. Simple interest rate, small r, and principal. Okay, these problems will involving only one interest rate for same investment or principal P. Okay, as you look at here, I would like to start my highlight to these 2 things. Okay, capital I and small r. As you can see here, our capital I here is simple interest. Simple interest, okay. Our R here is simple interest rate. So the same words, okay, simple interest only is capital I, simple interest rate is small r. Okay, that's our introduction for this chapter. Let's continue to our simple interest. Okay. Alright guys, let's look at our definition of interest. Interest is the amount that has to be paid by the borrower to the lender because of the using of capital. Okay guys, if I ask you what did you know about interest, automatically you will say to me, interest is bunga. Is it bunga is flower? No. Bunga along kan? Usually you will say that. Most of you, it's so famous. Okay. But actually interest we can define in 2 ways. 2 different ways. Okay. Number 1. Interest is the money earned. What does it mean with earn? Earn means you get the money. When money is invested. Okay. So that means interest we have in investment. Investment, what is investment? Actually, when you make a saving. Okay. And definition 2, interest is charged, incurred when a loan or credit is obtained. Interest is charged. That means you have been charged for your loan. Okay. That's definition for our interest. Let's look at the examples for both of them. Let's look at, for example, for money earned. For example, you deposit RM1,000 in a bank for a year, and a year later, you find your money already increased to be 1,050 ringgit. So that means you get interest how much? RM50 ringgit. Okay, the interest that you earn when you invest 1,000 ringgit. Okay, now let's move to example number 2. Interest charge. Okay, when it happen? When you borrow RM1,000, okay, from the same bank for a year, and you need to pay it back to bank RM1,080 ringgit at the end of the year. That means what you got is 1,000, but you need to pay is more, 1,080 ringgit. So the additional amount of RM80 is the charge or interest you need to pay when you borrow. So here is saving, here is loan. Our interest is different, meanings that either it is interest that you earn or interest that you being charged. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go further to our simple interest. Alright guys, generally there are two types of interest. Okay, the first one is simple interest. We will focus about simple interest in this lecture 1, and later on we will study about compound interest in lecture 3. Okay, so both of them has different meaning and also different word. So what you need to focus is actually to look at the words, whether it is simple or compound. Okay, what is simple interest? Simple interest is capital I here. Okay, this is capital I. Simple interest is the interest that is calculated on the original principal for the entire period it is borrowed or invest. Okay, that means interest, the value of interest, it depends on our principal. Okay, what is principal? Principal is the money that you invest or you borrow. Just now, the example just now is 1,000. That 1,000 is our principal or our P. So your interest depends on your principal. You get what I mean? Okay. It is the product of the principal multiplied by the rate and time. Okay. So here is our formula. I is equal to PRT. Okay. So let's look at the unit for each terms. What is I? Okay, I is the amount of interest or simple interest. Okay guys, actually I should be capital I. Maybe the type of word, the font that I choose is the don't have capital I. That is it's capital I. So let's make it this. Okay, in your books you must use capital I. Okay, capital I is the amount of interest or simple interest. Okay, your units is RM. Okay, units is very important for mathematics. Don't leave it, don't be confused. Okay, so I is RM, not percent. Okay, bukan persen ya. Okay, next P, amount of principal. Amount of principal also comes with RM unit. Okay, another one is small r. Okay, this one I already told about in the beginning of this lecture. Okay, small r is our annual simple interest rate. Okay, the word rates them. Okay, ada maksud dia. Simple interest rate, there is our percentage, but simple interest is our amount. Okay, do you see the relation between these two? Okay, capital I is the amount, that's mean RM. Small r is the rate, which mean percentage, and our time will always be in terms of years. Let's look at our example. Find the simple interest on RM1,000 deposit in a bank at 8% per annum for 2 years. Okay, the first thing, simple. That's mean our 5.1. Simple interest is our capital I. So we want to find our capital I. Okay, on RM1,000 deposit, 1,000 deposit is our P is 1,000. Okay, 8% per annum is our small r. Okay, 8% that's mean 8 over 100. In calculation, we will use 0.08. Okay, and for 2 years, so G is equal to 2. So for Maths Finance, you need to put everything, list down the values that you have because you got your marks there. Okay, so we want to find our capital I. So let's use our formula, which is that involving all the value that we have is I equal to PRT. Okay, so 1000 multiply with 0.08 multiply with 2. So your calculation, it should be RM 160 ringgit. Okay, so that's mean the money that you get, the interest that you will get is RM 160 for 2 years, during 2 years. Okay, that's why already we put there I for the first year is 80 ringgit, another I for second year is 80 ringgit. The total of I that you will get at the end of this is RM 160 ringgit. Okay, your interest, simple interest, depends on your principal. Okay, now let's move to another example. Ansha invests RM 5,000 in an investment for 3 years. At the end of the investment period, simple interest earned, that means saving, right? Okay, from her investment is 1125. Find the simple interest rate that is offered. So what do we want from this question? Is our R. Find the simple interest rate is our small r. Okay, let's look at each value. Invest means your P. This is your T. Simple interest earned, that means is your simple interest earned. The value is your capital I. Okay, so you want to find R. So let's take out all the value. As I said earlier, it is compulsory. Okay, don't start your calculation of formula without listing all the values that you have from the question. So our capital I is 1125, so we want R. So these 4 values only connected with this formula, which is I equal to PRT. If you want to find R, is I divide with P and T. Okay, so let's calculate. Put the value one by one. Okay, don't mistake the value. 5,000 multiply with 3. Okay, at the end you will get your R is 0.075. Okay guys, but your R should be in percentage. Okay, our units for rate is percentage. So what you need to do is just multiply by 100. Okay, so we will get 7.5%. Okay, don't put your answer as this one. Okay, as in decimal. Decimal we will only use in calculation. This example, Asri invests RMX in a bank after 24 months. The simple interest he will earn is 2,430 ringgit. If the simple interest rate is 8.5% per year, find the value of X. Okay, what is this? So let's take out invest RMX. So X is our P. Okay, you want to find P is your principal. You want to find X. Okay, next 24 months. This is our time. Time, remember we need to change into years. 24 months, that means 2 years. The simple interest he will earn. This is your interest gain. Okay, so here is your I, 2430. Okay, next is your interest rate. Simple interest rate is R, 8.5%. So in calculation we will divide by 100, so it will be 0.085. Okay, so here we want to find X. So we still stuck in the same formula, which is I equal to PRT. Okay, So let's just substitute the value that we have. Okay, we change the formula first. We want to find P, which is your X. So let's substitute with X. So X is equal to I divided by RT. Okay, so what is your I? 2430. Okay, your R is 0.085. Your T is 2. Okay, take out your calculator, guys, and calculate what will be ASRI's principal or ASRI X value. It will be RM 14,294 ringgit and 12 cents. Okay, this is the value that ASRI invest or Ustaz ASRI invest. Okay, next example. The principal amount of 1,000 was invested at a simple interest rate 6%. After some times, okay, sometimes dia tak bagi tahu, didn't mention the specific times. 225 is the simple interest was received. For how long the money was kept in the account? Okay, so let's take out what is this principal P. So our P is 1,000. Take out all the information. Simple interest rate is our R. So R is 0.06. Okay. Next, simple interest is our interest gain. The value interest gain is 225. How long? That's mean you want to find T. Okay, when you can understand the formula well, you can understand the sentence of the question well, it will not be a problem anymore. Okay, I equal to PRT. We want to find T, so I divide with PR. So let's start it to its own value. 1,000 multiply with 0.06. Okay, you see here I already changed straight away because we know that we want to change from percent to decimal. Just divide with 100. Okay, 2 decimal places. So what will be your calculation here? Our T is 3.75 years. Okay, that's mean if the time that how long the money was kept in the account is 3.75 years. Okay, good. Okay, the last example for this simple interest part, for the part 1. Okay, find the interest Salma must pay if she borrows 3,000 from a bank at a simple interest rate per year for 5 years. Okay, interest must pay. Okay, interest must pay. We learn in the beginning of our lecture is our capital I. Okay, interest we have 2 types, right? Pay or gain. So we want to find capital I. Borrows mean your P, your capital value, your principal value. Okay, because it is a loan at a simple interest 8%. So this is our small r 0.08 and T is our 5. Okay, right, so we want to find I is PRT. You just substitute the value. Alright, okay, what will be our answer is RM. Okay, what is your answer on your calculator, guys? Calculate 1,200. Okay, you see here Salma wants to borrow 3,000 from a bank, but she already be charged with interest 1,200. It's a lot, right? Okay, so from here we already practiced a few questions involving the formula I equal to PRT. So you need, what I want you to alert is you need to understand our I is the amount of interest, P is the amount of our principal, R is our percentage, T is our years. Okay, for you to able to answer problem solving for maths finance, this is your first step.